So, good afternoon. First of all, I want to show you what I'm having for lunch. Not that you care, but a little bit of lunch from Natasha's. I actually happened to go meatless today. Don't do that often, every now and then. It makes the intestines very happy. So that's good. It gives the intestines a break. So today I am having red beans without the rice, steamed kale, garlic green beans, a little bit of spinach salad, some beets, yum, and something called peasant pesto potato salad, which is very delicious, by the way. So anyway, I am attempting to make a little bit of just a short video, just saying some of the things that I did concerning this weight loss journey. I find it a lot easier to make a video than to try to type all of this. Ain't nobody got time for that. Kidding. But anyway, just some of the important points. It won't take long because, as you can see, I want to get back to my lunch. And I don't want to make this video too long. It'll take forever to upload. But anyway, one of the main things that I did, and I started about 3 years ago, I said from the beginning that I would never be one to do a lot of crash diets and stuff like that. And I've pretty much stuck to that. I just made some changes here and there, which is why it took me as long as it did. I probably could have gotten where I am, and even more so to my goal now, had I done some rather extreme things. But that is not the road that I took personally, and that's just me. Also, I want to say that I'm not an expert. I don't pretend to be. I don't act like I'm one. I'm willing to share things that I did. But again, that was my journey personally. Everybody's is different. What worked for me may not work for you. But again, I'm willing to share some of the things that I did. One of the main things that I did was I cut out a lot of sugary drinks, such as soda, even fruit juices, because they are loaded with sugar. Kool-Aid, y'all know we like some Kool-Aid. Things like that, because I decided I'd rather eat my calories than drink them. So that was one of the things that I did for absolute sure. Then I switched to a lot of whole grain products. For example, I started using brown rice instead of white, whole grain bread instead of white bread. I ate a lot of sweet potatoes as opposed to white potatoes. They are all the things that I just listed have not had all of the nutrients and vitamins and minerals stripped from them, and they are loaded with fiber. Fiber is very good to have in your diet for many reasons, and one of them, byproduct, is weight loss, using fiber or increased fiber in your diet. And again, it just retains a lot more of the nutrients that your body needs than those that have been and gone under the refining process. And even with those, as far as pastas and breads, I use whole grain of those as well for that period of time. Even with that, I tried not to go overboard. I'm a bread-aholic. I love bread and bread products, pasta as well. So I did not cut them out of my diet completely. That would have depressed me. I'm keeping it real. But I enjoyed them in moderation, okay? So just learning portion control, not going overboard. Y'all know how we can do, going back 2 and 3 times, you know, try to leave a plate at that. A plate. And then also I was one that, you know, almost every night we had dessert, whether it was cookies, brownies, cakes, ice cream, something of that nature. I cut back way on that. I cannot say I eliminated them altogether. I would be telling you an untruth. There are some things that I did enjoy for those periods of time. Some people choose not to take that method. They eliminate them altogether. Again, if that works for you, that's great. For me, it didn't. For me, if I felt like I was being deprived all the time, I just would have wanted to quit. And again, that's me personally. So I did enjoy those things, but in moderation. Also, I started baking more of my foods, fish and chicken. And we love some fried chicken in the Taylor household. Let me tell you, we love some fried chicken. But I started baking more of my foods instead of frying them. And also, when I would fix my plate, I would make sure that I had more vegetables on my plate than I had meat. So I did not eliminate meat, but again, I tried to add more vegetables and things to my meals. In addition, I started steaming more of them as opposed to boiling and completely boiling all the life, the nutrients and everything out of my food, and also not soaking them in butter and cheese and, you know, all those things that I love. Love cheese, by the way. And I didn't get rid of that altogether. I'll tell you that too. I'm just going to tell you up front. Okay, so I'll get off on a tangent in a minute. Love me some cheese. I wrote an ode to cheese and put it on Facebook one time. But anyway, that's a whole nother story. So I cracked myself up. So I started doing that as well. We started out, of course, my life was not as busy then as it is now. So we were working out probably about 5 times a week, maybe more. There were times we came home when the sun went down on Saturday, put on our tennis shoes and walked the neighborhood. So we started out pretty much doing walking. I started out at 260 pounds with a lot of physical issues and discomforts. And so even that was not easy for me at the very beginning. 15, 20 minutes, a few minutes in, I'd be complaining to my husband. He can tell you it was pretty bad. But we started out doing something every day. That was the key. Eventually we ended up building up our endurance, getting stronger, worked up to weights, worked up to doing Tae Bo, worked up to doing Zumba. Shout out to Felicia and Miss Kimmy and Zumba Carla. Love those ladies. And that was something that helped me get off a plateau. I'm telling you, ladies, Zumba works. Love it. It's good. I started out taking various classes, boot camp classes. We've worked our way up to doing a lot of things now that we couldn't do in the beginning. But the point is, if you can start out just doing something, a half an hour a day, and again, like I said, our lives were not nearly as busy then as they are now. The main key, because some people have asked, like, what was the magic moment, or what was the absolute thing that did it for me? And I can't really say that there was one thing in particular. There is no magic to this. It's dedication. It is having stick-to-itness, right? It is doing what you need to do even when you don't feel like it, okay? That's called commitment. All right, you got to be dedicated. And this is the thing that I say to almost everybody that I talk to. The main ingredient, if I had to say anything, was consistency. Because you can do a lot of things for a short period of time and you will never see results if you don't continue. Okay, so even when you don't see, because there were times I did not see results, and I would cry on my husband's shoulder. Y'all feel bad for me. I would cry on my husband's shoulder, and he would just hold me and encourage me and just tell me to keep going, okay? And so I would keep on doing even when I didn't see on the scale, I didn't see results in my clothes, but I kept going. I kept going. That's the key. You have to keep going. And then eventually I started seeing results, all right? Then once you start seeing results, man, that's when I had the eye of the tiger. You could not stop me then, okay? At first I used to have my husband, if I was going, to the gym, he had to be going. If I, but it got to the point where I was going to do what I had to do regardless, because I decided that I was worth it. I was worth doing what I needed to do for me, to take care of me. So that was, an epiphany moment when I realized, look, you're worth it. You can hardly breathe. You can hardly get up the steps. I had an elderly woman when I first started working here that would take the stairs up to the 4th floor, and I would take a flight, literally feel like I was about to have a heart attack and have to take the stairs from the 2nd floor to the 4th floor. That is a true story and sad. And so I just decided, I'm too young for this. I have, Lord willing, I have too much life left to live. And, I wanted to be energetic to do all the things that I need to do. So if I could tell you anything, it would be you got to stick to it. And it's good to have somebody at the beginning. Like I said, having my husband, someone that I was accountable to, and us doing it together helped out a lot. But I'm telling you, you will get to the point where, you know, if the other person can't or won't go, you going by yourself. You will get to that point eventually. It will take time, but you gotta hang in there. That's just some of the things that I did. Nothing magic. Drink a lot of water. I drank a lot of water. I made sure to eat breakfast. A lot of people think it helps them when they skip breakfast. Not so. You will destroy your metabolism that way. So eating breakfast is good. I use a lot of olive oil and different things rather than butter. I'm trying to think of some other things. If you have any other questions, anything that I did not cover, because I'm trying to hurry up and get to my lunch, y'all feel me? Just type it in at the bottom of this video, and when I get time, such as a break or lunch or after work, I will respond. Now, I will admit that the past year has been very difficult. I have probably, at my lowest, I lost close to 90 pounds. However, within the last year, I've basically either maintained and in some cases have picked up some of what I've lost. So, you know, I've just been really busy lately. I have to make time. That's an entirely different video about, you know, where I am right now and about, you know, how it's really time for me to get back to that and just to balance my life out, because I want to be able to succeed in multiple areas of life. So that's pretty much all for now. Thank you all for listening. Bye.